Welcome to Uncover Time, where history is made clear and powerful. Today, we explore the story of one of the greatest minds of the Islamic world, a man whose work touched science, history, religion, math, and more, Al-Biruni. His full name was Abu al-Rayhan Muhammad ibn Ahmad al-Biruni, and he lived from 973 to 1048 during the golden age of Islamic learning. Al-Biruni was a true scholar who studied many subjects, from astronomy and geography to poetry and languages, and made original contributions in all of them. He was born near today's Khiva in a region called Khwarizm, which produced many famous scientists during that era. The rulers of Khwarizm and Tabaristan recognized his talent and welcomed him into their courts, giving him the peace to learn and write. Later, the powerful King Mahmud of Ghazni, in present-day Afghanistan, heard about the scholars of Khwarizm and asked the local prince to send Al-Biruni and Ibn Sina to his court. The prince agreed, and in 1018 Al-Biruni was sent to Ghazni, where he continued his work under Mahmud's rule. It's likely that Al-Biruni traveled to India with Mahmud's army, but instead of fighting, he spent his time learning about Indian culture. He studied Indian languages, sacred texts, science and traditions, and stayed in India for several years as a respectful observer. When he returned to Ghazni, in present-day Afghanistan, he became a trusted scholar at Mahmud's court and later at the court of Mahmud's son, Masud. There's a famous story where a visitor spoke of lands where the sun never sets for months, and Mahmud became angry, thinking it was a lie. Al-Biruni calmly explained the natural phenomenon behind it, saving the visitor and impressing the king with his knowledge. Mahmud's son, Masud, admired Al-Biruni as well, giving him many gifts, though Al-Biruni often returned them, saying he only needed what was necessary. One of Al-Biruni's first major works was Vestiges of the Past, a book written around the year 1000 about calendars and religious festivals across different cultures. In it, he studied the practices of Persians, Jews, Christians, Greeks, Zoroastrians, and others, always showing fairness and respect. He followed the way of science, researching carefully, checking sources, and admitting when he didn't know something. He wrote in his book that to find truth, people must free their minds from pride, habits, and personal bias. While Mahmud was conquering cities, Al-Biruni was studying Indian life, language, and belief with patience and respect. In 1030, he completed his most famous work, The History of India, also called Tarikh al-Hind. He warned readers to separate first-hand facts from hearsay and listed the types of people who often lie in writing history. Instead of focusing on politics, he wrote in detail about Hindu astronomy, religion, science, and philosophy. He compared Hinduism thought to Greek philosophy and Sufism in Islam, and said they shared similar spiritual ideas. Though he preferred Greek logic, he translated Sanskrit scientific texts into Arabic and translated Euclid and Ptolemy into Sanskrit in return. He wrote about numbers, stars, land, machines, and minerals, always using reason and observation. He believed the earth was round and suggested that it might spin on its axis, showing great insight for his time. He wrote about gems and metals from medical, trade, and scientific views, and used water displacement to measure their weight. He created shortcuts for calculating doubling numbers and solved geometry problems that later carried his name. He wrote histories of Mahmud, Subuktigin, and Khwarizm, and was later called the Sheikh, meaning the master, by Muslim historians. Al-Biruni lived during the same age as Ibn Sina, Ibn al-Haytham, and Ferdowsi. Together, they marked the height of medieval Islamic culture. Thank you for watching Uncover Time. where history comes alive. Like, share and subscribe.